Welcome to my channel. I tried to start this channel up a few years ago, and it never really took off. So I'm revamping the channel. Instead of Beer and Gear Weekly, it's called The Prepper. I'm going to be teaching everybody about survivalness, preparedness. A lot of my friends have expressed interest in wanting to get into prepping because of what's going on in our country right now. And with that, I just want to say this is a non-political channel. It's not politically charged. We're going to talk survivalness, preparedness, things that you can do to keep you and your family safe in these trying times. So this is a video series called Prepping 101, and what we're going to do is we're going to go from the start, and then we'll just continue on for people that don't know anything about prepping or just getting started. I've been a prepper for about 10 years, and I've learned a lot of useful information over those years. So we're going to start at the beginning, and this video is called The 5 C's of Survival. There's actually 10 C's of survival, but I've broken it up into 2 videos. The first 5 are the most important. The second 5 are still important, but they're not as critical as the first 5. So, the first 5 C's of survival, the first C is combustion. You want to be able to make a fire. You want to be able to stay warm, cook food, boil water, anything to do with fire, So combustion, it's a really good morale booster if it's dark. It keeps animals at bay if you have a fire. So we're going to get into that real quick. So the first thing is combustion. And it's always good to have one of these in your pocket. The big lighter is great to have, but they do run out of fuel and they don't work very well in the cold. So you want to have backup sources for combustion. A ferrocerium rod with a striker. This is fat wood. Basically, it's pine. When a pine tree dies, all the sap runs to the base of the tree. When the tree falls over, all the wood that's left in the trunk of the tree, you can get it, process it, and it's impregnated with a bunch of natural oils, and it will take a spark from a ferrocerium rod very, very quickly. Also, we have stuff like live fire, stuff that's impregnated with accelerants that you can use to start a fire. Any of those things are great to have. We'll go into more detail with them later in a later video. Our second C, or survival, is going to be a container. Now, when it comes to containers, there's a lot you can do with them. You can boil water, you can purify water, you can cook. I prefer stainless steel. This actually is from Pathfinder, Dave Campberry's online store. I got it in a battle box several years ago, but you have stainless steel cup, and it has laser etched markings for measuring, and you can put this stuff right into it. You can put this container right here, set it in a thing of coals with some water in it. It'll boil your water. Is you need a way to purify your water and stay hydrated, and also to cook with. So a container is a really good thing. You can do so many things. You can catch rainwater. You can get water from a stream. You can cook with it. Anything you want to do, but make sure you get stainless steel or something that can handle fire. You want to be able, because a container is really not going to do you much good if you cannot boil water in it. Say something happens and we're all under a boil ban, or you're out in the woods trying to survive. Little quick tip: if the shit hits the fan, don't try to go run into the woods, especially if you're not prepared, because you will die. Just saying, you're not going to make it. Especially if you're just starting out, it's not a good idea. You build up to that, okay? You build your bug out bag, you build up your skills, because your items aren't worth crap without skills if you don't know how to use them. So that's the second container. The third item in the 5 C's of survival is a covering. Now this can be anything from a poncho, an emergency Mylar blanket, a tarp, a tent, anything that will give you, will keep you safe from the elements, because exposure will kill you faster than anything, especially if it's wintertime. So you need a covering to protect yourself from the rain, the weather, the wind, keep you warm. So that's number 3 on the list, is a covering. Number 4 on the list is a cutting device, or a cutting tool, not a device, a tool. Which that could be either a fold-out pocket knife. I got this one for Christmas. My daughter got me this one for Christmas, and I really love it. It's kind of cheap, but it holds a blade, holds an edge pretty well. Now, when I'm outside, when I'm doing my camping, you know, and I'm doing all that, I prefer a fixed handle blade. You can use the back of it to get a spark on your ferrocerium rod if you don't have your striker. You can use it to process firewood into kindling. If you get this is a Mora knife. I got this several years ago. I probably got this 5-6 years ago. It looks a little beat up, but it's lasted. It's got a carbon steel blade. It's full tang. You want to get a full tang, so if you're processing firewood and you're beating on it, your knife's not going to break. Because your knife, it's one of your lifelines because you can't really do anything without a knife in a survival situation. You need a knife, a good knife. I'm not saying go out and spend $120 on a knife. You know, you can get these Mora knives for, I think, about $15 or $20 on Amazon, and they're really good knives. They're carbon steel, so you have to keep the blade on or they will rust. But you have to have your knife. Without it, you're not going to be able to basically do anything, because you're not going to be able to cut anything. So, this is a really important one, is a cutting tool. All right, so the 5th C on our list here is cordage. Now, I prefer 7-strand paracord. Any cordage will work. The reason I like this 7-strand paracord is because you can break it up into different strains, or different strands, I'm sorry, and you can use them for all kinds of things, tying stuff together, securing your shelter, basically whatever you can think of. But I use 550 paracord. It has 550 pounds of tensile strength. Now, as you break it down, the little individual cords will not have that much, so just keep that in mind. Some paracord you get has fire cord in it, and it's a little yellow or little red string, and it's flammable, so you can use that as a fire starting device. Some types of paracord, like Titan paracord, have that, and they have a steel wire impregnated with the paracord. You can use as like a snare, or whatever you think you could use it for. So the last C on our list is paracord, because you need cordage to, if you need to build a shelter, if you need to secure a door, whatever you need to do with it, you can do with cordage. I prefer paracord. It's great stuff, but rope works just as well, but it's a little bit more cumbersome. So that being said, that's the first 5 C's of survival. Next video, I will go into the next 5 C's of survival. And if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money. I'm not trying to make any money at all personally, but I just want to get content out there, because there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to get into prepping, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, like the little, sardine survival kits, stuff like that. If you take one of those out in the wilderness, you know, like little $5, $10 survival kits, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. So, with that being said, any of my friends, please share this video. I'm trying to get more subscribers on my channel, get some content out there. I'm new to this. I haven't really done a whole lot of this before, but I'm excited about it. And if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see any videos, leave me a comment for suggestions, and I will be more than happy to oblige you.